Where are we going?
It's amazing what a sunny morning will do. I'm ready and raring to go.
How you doing, Tara? Is our second unit camera following you? They're pesky, those guys. They're everywhere.
You know, when you look at technology, inherently you would believe it would help us communicate better. There could be the argument that it's doing just the opposite, that it's alienating people, that you don't have to show passion and excitement anymore because in an email it's flat. So I think there's a balance. We'll find it one day, hopefully not too late.
Dave Chalk Connected is brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly.
Walkie-talkies, I've used them since I was a kid. The technology's come a long way because now you can build as a back channel into a cell phone, which I think is where they're really going to explode. Rather than having a cell phone and a family radio that you use, your cell phone can play that role and it works nationwide. I think they're great, and as my kids start to grow up, I think it'll be a really big part of our communication.
Jumping from 0. That would be really cool.
I'll try. I'll see if I can.
Yeah.
We just have to remember. Quiet on set. And that will be next.
Yeah, that works.
3, 2, and 1.
You might remember a couple years ago a big buzz in the marketplace when a new generation of walkie-talkies came in. Motorola released the first. They were on the FRS, or Family Radio Service, meaning you didn't need a license to operate. Started around $500. That's what I paid. Dropped down to about $50. Such is technology. Big buzz again, though, because there's a new generation called the GMRS, which is for
General Mobile Radio Service.
See, I programmed Mike for that one. This is a band in the U.S. that requires a license, but in Canada, the license requirements have been moved. So it means the radios are up to 4 or more times powerful, whereas the old ones went around 2 kilometers. These can go from 8 to 12 kilometers, depending on the model. These ones here are around $120 for the set. They really work well. As I said, no license required now for these.
Well, these are cool. They come with a little battery charging station here that you can put both of them in and charge at the same time. You can even take the batteries out and charge them separately as well. But as you're saying, up to 8 kilometers, which is really cool. Maybe I'll go back 20 feet and test this out. Even has things like a vibracall, kind of like cell phones, so that you don't have to make lots of noise when people are calling, and channel scan to go through all the different channels. And if you still want to talk with your friends that have an FRS radio, of those 22 channels that GMRS supports, it actually will support up to 7 of the FRS. Let's see. Dave, can you hear me?
No, where are you, Mike?
Now, this is a wristwatch-based GPS, very similar to the handheld ones. It's got all the functionality, but this is nice because you can actually just strap it on your wrist. So not only can I track all my navigation points as I'm going along, but it also has the built-in electronic compass, barometer, and altimeter as well.
And again, the way GPS is working, it is receiving up to 4 signals from the satellites using triangulation, which is the same way a boat navigation person would do it with the towers or the beacons, and it can locate your position. It's usually accurate within a couple meters, but when you're out hiking around or traveling, that's plenty close enough. There are advanced systems and a lot more expensive that will pinpoint you with perfect accuracy, but you know, I've used these many times, and they are perfect when you're out and about traveling.
This model is called the Sunto X9 wrist-top computer, and it's actually got a great little PC interface here as well. So when you get back home, you can actually upload all the information. As far as the maps and things like that, you can bring in your own maps and then track where you've gone. You can even get a visual representation of your height as well.
And this is pretty cool because the online community of Sunto on their website allows you to upload a lot of this information, so specific trips and hikes and pictures and little day journal things create a community. And in fact, you know, when you're out hiking around and you want to go to a certain area, maybe someone's already done this in a really exciting way, and there's a lot more information. So it's not only about the GPS, but now it's also about communities as well, too.
This would almost be a good watch for training because it's got all the regular watch features like stopwatch. You can even see how fast you're going the distance. And again, having that PC interface there, you've got total control of your training.
Now, we're talking about $700 price range for this, so they're not cheap, but there's a lot of value. If you're outdoors, if you're doing a lot of training, you want to know a lot about weather conditions and have all that information automatically being tracked to your watch, check this one out.
And cut. Very nice.
150, good. All right, one down. Woo.
I've lost my cell phone like 5 times, and in probably every taxi cab in every city you can imagine. And it's so frustrating because you get out of the cab, and the first thing I always do after I get out is check all my pockets. And by the time I finish checking, cab's gone. I've never gotten back any of my cell phones. You phone the cab company, say you lost your phone, they don't know what you're talking about.
And it might be $710 or $300.
Anybody else might say no.
What's the lineup today?
The lineup today, we have a number of cool gadgets, like some new phones, instant talk PCS phones, which are kind of like mic phones, but a little more straightforward, a little more consumer friendly. So that's sort of the highlight of the day's products.
We're gonna be live. Okay, 3, 2, and action.
You know, if there's one thing that all my electronic gadgets have in common, it's power, and I always seem to be out of it. You see, you have to constantly recharge the batteries so you can use them. Well, if you're traveling in a car, one way to do that is getting a cigarette lighter adapter. Problem is, if you get one for each, that starts adding up after a while. Targus has come out with a solution that lets you use it for pretty well everything. It's called the Targus 150-watt dual outlet slimline adapter. Slimline meaning it's slim and very portable, so it's easy to cart around with you in any notebook case. And it's also got the dual outlets as well, so I can actually hook up multiple devices while I'm traveling. You can hook up not only dual-prong outlets, but it also comes with a 3-prong outlet as well, so that you can plug in the 3 prongs if you need to. What I like, too, is that it even has a USB DC charge port. Basically, what that means is that a lot of these things like Blackberries and Palm Pilots, they charge their devices using the USB port when you plug it into a notebook or a computer. Well, it's got a port right in here, so when you plug this in, it'll automatically charge your device. Another feature I like, it's got built-in surge protector and auto shutoff. So if there's any surges or anything like that, it's not going to damage your devices when you're out on the road. So again, this is made for electronic devices like notebook computers, digital cameras, cell phones. You're not going to be wanting to power up your hairdryer or your blender. Perfect, though, if you're out on the road and you want to be watching DVD movies on your laptops. Your kids are going to love it. So again, instead of buying all these separate cigarette lighter adapters for all your devices, why not have a look at one that can blend it all into one package?
Cut.
Good for time.
Even works on Macs.
Happy with that?
That's for Tristan.
Yeah, all right. Good to go, guys. Cutaways, we got them all?
I think the next thing to be included in a cell phone is push-to-talk technology. And this is separate to a cellular call, because a cellular call, you dial a particular number and a link is made between 2 people. On push-to-talk technology, the connection is only made while you're pushing to talk. It's great for quick conversations, and it's especially great for families. The business application is service people, anyone on the road that needs to communicate with the office. No need to dial, push to talk.
Do they want us to point that out?
Voice activated dialing, text messaging, and web access.
That's, you can't get all that.
You can't get all that in. Okay, 3,
Yeah.
2, and action.
Well, there's no doubt about it. The cellular phone is one of the best communication tools that has ever come along. It has allowed us to stay in touch with people across town or around the world. The calls are easy and they're convenient. The only drawback to a cellular call, or any telephone call for that matter, is 1, the cost. 2, the fact you have to dial the number, you have to wait for it to ring, you may get put on hold, or you may get voicemail. Sometimes we want to talk right away if we want to communicate with friends and family while we're on a ski hill or camping, or if we've got a technician out on the road and he has to check back with the office. A better application might be the walkie-talkie, such as the ones we've looked at before, but their range is only 7, possibly to 11 kilometers. Why not build the walkie-talkie into the cellular phone? Well, it's been done by TELUS. It is called push-to-talk technology. Now the phone is both capable of making a dial-up phone call, or with the press of a single button, make an instant connection to someone in your calling group with no waiting, no putting on hold, and instant and secure communication. Mike's out on the road right now. Mike, are you there?
I'll be right up. TELUS Mobility actually has two ways to push to talk now. They've got their traditional mic direct connect service, which Canadian businesses have been using for years. And literally within the push of a button, you can instantly connect with your business partner, whether that's across the hall or across the country. We've got a number of different phones for that service as well, everything from ruggedized military spec phones to data phones, even Blackberries. And features like GPS, voice-activated dialing, text messaging, even worldwide web access.
Well, now they've got a lighter version for the masses. They've got PCS Instant Talk.
And with this Kyocera phone, for example, I can take advantage of their PCS 1X network across the country.
And by simply pushing down the button again, it acts just like a walkie-talkie. Plus, I can make regular phone calls as well.
It's even got features like voice-activated dialing, text messaging, and worldwide web access.
Thanks, Mike. You covered that off pretty good. One of the things Mike didn't mention is the push-to-talk technology from TELUS works anywhere in North America and will soon work in South America. He touched on a few of the other models. This is the BlackBerry that has the mic function, the instant within 1 second communication. Here's one from Motorola. And this is the PCS Instant Talk, which we showed you earlier, which again is great for friends, family, and communications where you don't need absolute instant communication, a great way to save money. And the nice feature is all the benefits that come with a walkie-talkie are now available on the network that's running your cellular phone. If you're interested in staying in touch, getting the cost down, and making communications just that much simpler, check out push-to-talk technology from TELUS.
And cut.
You know, Tristan, the only thing I should have added there is that once you pay your monthly fee for the push-to-talk technology, when you're calling friends and family on it, you're not burning up your airtime minutes. So there's actually a big savings on it as well. Got it? Okay, we're done.
Mike and I, we communicate great. We've been working together, I don't know, 10, 12 years. I like to say that, you know, we've never really had a disagreement. We communicate, 90% of our communication is face-to-face or voice-to-voice because we need to understand each other. We're both right-brained. We're passionate about what we do. So technology plays a secondary role. The tools of technology play a secondary role. Mike and I are a good example of two people that communicate together well.
What goes in here? More?
Your contacts, your phone numbers, your addresses, your fax numbers, your email addresses.
And appointments?
No.
Okay, got it.
And action.
While most of us would say we couldn't live without our cellular phones because of the convenience, today's cellular phones are actually a lot more powerful than we're giving them credit for. Features of contact management, email addresses, all sorts of things that would be database related are capable of being stored in the phone. The only reason most of us don't tend to do it, it is way too much work to enter it in on the tiny keypad. And then if anything goes wrong on your 60 or 200 entries, that is a heck of a lot of work to put them.
It's very frustrating.
I tried it on the first couple phones and gave up. The point
Now
is,
you have no more friends.
right, and I keep a couple of them in there, and when the phone number comes up, it pulls up the database and shows me who's calling, but I'd like it to happen with all of them. But most of us using Microsoft Windows 2000 or XP have our Outlook updated with all the contacts and email addresses and all the information we would ever want. Wouldn't it be nice if you could just sort of zap it from your computer over to your phone? Well, you can. There have been a number of attempts at this in the past. A certain cable with a specific adapter could transfer it, but if you change your phone, then the
Yeah, and
cable
a lot of people,
no
I
longer
change my
works.
phone every year.
Right.
So I got to buy new cable.
Got to buy
every
new
year.
cable, and typically new software goes along with that, and there's a fair expense to it. One of the types of networks out in the marketplace is GSM, very popular in Europe. Interesting thing about GSM phones, they use a SIM module. Now the SIM in SIM card stands for Subscriber Identity Module, and all GSM phones have this.
How do you have room in your brain for all of those?
It's a special place. Simply pull this little tab forward right here and bring out the SIM card. They're all the same. What we're going to show you now is a reader that allows you to transfer, yes, all of your Outlook into your phone.
It's called the PhoneMate. It's a SIM card data manager. It comes with the actual reader and a USB cable to hook it right into your laptop
And
or
again,
desktop.
one cable doesn't matter if you change your phone because all the SIM cards are the same.
You flip open the lid here and you
About
stick
$60 for the device and the software.
which is cool. So you've got this here, so no matter how many phones you go
Right.
through, that SIM card travels with you, and you don't have to worry about it anymore. You load the software up, and working in conjunction with your Outlook, it'll automatically read all of your Outlook contacts and their phone numbers, and it's super simple. You can see everything that's on your card here or your phone, and simply drag or drop or transfer all of them, whatever you want, hit the sync or the transfer button, and you're good to go. All of those phone numbers, which take little, next to no time entering in with the keyboard, automatically go over.
And this is great if you're a traveler as well, too. If you were traveling to another country or another location where you don't use all these phone numbers on a regular basis, you could transfer over a different database for that particular reason while you're traveling. Simply take the card out, put it back inside. I won't use it right now. I'll just pop it in like this, even without it. Power the phone back up. That phone now is fully equipped with all that information, all that contact information, and especially if you have one of the newer camera phones where you need email addresses as well, this is a great way to get them transferred over. If you really want to take full advantage of your cellular phone and load it up with everything you already have, try transferring it over on your SIM card.
Where are these people? These are Kristen's.
Cut. Good. Good for time. All right, let's move to the next segment.
You know, if you do a lot of traveling and you take your notebook computer with you, there's something better you can do than always packing up your power adapter. There's some other options out there you may not be familiar with. This is something interesting here, a universal power adapter. You can see much slimmer and lighter weight, a lot easier to pack. And interestingly enough, it works with most notebooks in the marketplace because this company gives you all sorts of adapters with it. You simply pop one of these onto the end and it'll plug right into your notebook. Now, many of these will plug into the wall. But you see, this one even has a car adapter, so you can use it right in your car and charge your notebook computer. Interestingly enough, you can even pull this end off. You know what that one is? That's the universal adapter for airlines. Many now give you power right in the seat, and this is how you can pick it up. That's one of the ways you can do it, but remember, too, that you can get power right out of your car. Now, your car's battery is direct current. Notebook computers, MP3 players, and CDs need alternating current. This is an inverter. Put this in your cigarette lighter, and you can see right on the side, you got a regular power plug. You might even power your blow dryer if you're out on a camping trip, but don't drain the battery too much.
This is amazing. It's going to revolutionize.
It's going to revolutionize the industry.
Yeah, I can hear you fine, man. Gotta love it. Nice hair.
Well, I certainly don't have to tell you it's a competitive place out in the marketplace today. Businesses have to do all they can to stay competitive. That means keeping employees in the office on the job and minimizing travel time. But to many companies, it's important to have contact across the country or around the world. It's been thought for years that video conferencing would do that, but to this point, it hasn't really played out. Maybe that is until now. Sony's new TL50 video conferencing system may revolutionize the way businesses can video conference, save costs, and become more efficient. The system is standalone and is as you see it. A 20-inch LCD display, built-in speakers, built-in camera, microphone, and the operating codec, the software that actually operates sending the signal from this to any number of systems that are attached anywhere in the world over the internet. Simply plug this into an internet cable, go through a small amount of configuration, and you're ready to go. But that's not it in its entirety, because the system can also be used as a display. It can be used as the monitor at the same time for your computer. Let me show you by pressing one button. Ready to go. If you have a DVD or a multimedia system, you can attach a DVD player to it. But let's get into the conferencing, and you can see just how easy it is. The wireless remote control has all the features built right into it, and it's very easy to use. On the bottom, you see I have 6 contacts configured, and those 6 align with the buttons on the top of the keyboard. In our Vancouver office, I'm in the studio right now, is Nels. Simply pressing the 1, it'll call him up. If he's there. Hey, Nels, how you doing?
Hey, Dave, I'm doing great, thank you.
Stay with me for just a minute. I want to just show a few more features, and we'll take a look at it from your end. Now, a few of the other things you can do with this that are very easy to do. Simple controls, giving me picture-in-picture control so I can see my image. Allows me to move that around the screen, as well as picture-and-picture controls. I can bring up a number of conference sessions at the same time. As well, I can also go back to bring up the computer screen and the conferencer, or, as we showed earlier, the video in the conferencer. With the add-in box, you can actually transfer data from this system to the other one, anything that can be displayed on the screen. And as well, on the side, there is a Sony memory stick slot that allows you to immediately transfer information. Let me go back to Nels. You can see we can bring him up on a split screen here. Hey, Nels, how's the picture quality at that end?
Oh, Dave, it's great. On this one machine, I can support up to 5 video conferencing sites all at once. Between the two of us, we can support up to 10. Not only that, all the active video audio, and graphics are encrypted for a secure and private conversation. As a matter of fact, later this afternoon, I have a video conference call with my colleague in Toronto.
Well, thank you, Nels. Maybe you can conference me in on that one, too. Well, as you can see with the TL50, it is more than just video conferencing. The ability to bring up documents and share information back and forth certainly does improve our efficiency. With the superior video and audio quality of the TL50, you will see it's almost like being in the same room with the person. If you're looking to increase the efficiency of your company, make more time for yourself so that you can spend more time at home, take a look at the new video conferencing from Sony.
I think when you're looking at these phones, they promise everything, you know, digital camera, video phone, you can play games, you can have all your email, you can do web surfing. Let's just get real on one thing there. No one's going to sit on that little phone and do web surfing. You can't see the web pages. It's too small of a screen. I think the main thing is, can the thing actually make a call, and has it got good sound? Has it got Bluetooth in so you can use the wireless headsets? And can you send and receive email in some fashion? I think that's what you want to look for.
Dave Chalk Connected is brought to you by TELUS. The future is friendly.
We may be relying on technology too much, especially email. Nice thing about it, it's quick, it's efficient, you can search it, it'll help you create your calendars, but we also have to remember that human-to-human contact is the best way. There's emotion inside of that. I know a fellow who, if he wants to talk to you, he'll send you a meeting request. That meeting request is great because it's in your calendar, but he could just as easily say, hey, can we take 5 minutes and talk? We've got to remember that we need to be in touch with people.
Does this stuff always work that we say on the show? No. We've been trying out these Blackberries at work for the past few weeks, and it's driving me nuts. Like, I just can't get this freaking thing to work. It either gets full up and it starts bouncing all the emails back that people are sending me, or in one case, it was actually sending my personal emails to random people. And I have no idea why, and still haven't figured it out. Half the time, these things, they never work for me. It must be some electrical thing I have in my body.